The pregame portion of our program continues on this Saturday afternoon. I'm Bill Jacobs alongside SOU offensive coordinator Ken Fasnacht. Gosh, last year it seems like the Raiders raised the bar, won that first national championship in the program's history. Of course, the timetable was right for that group of players that were brought in here to play for SOU. In fact, it was head coach Craig Howard who said that the Raiders would win a title in 4 years, and doggone it if you didn't do it.
Yeah, it's funny, there was a great group of kids from last year too. I mean, it's really our first recruiting class, and it's kind of funny because we went out and recruited those guys, and Coach Howard says, tell them we're going to put a ring on their finger and get them a diploma. And when we started recruiting 4 years ago, the entire state of the entire West Coast probably thought we were nuts because we hadn't been winning at that time. But those guys bought in, and probably it's the greatest senior class in Southern Oregon history, the way they played and made it work and had the younger players follow up in their footsteps, and it was a great ride.
Well, player turnover is a part of college athletics, especially college football, it seems like, with the graduation of several of your key players. But does that put any more pressure now on this program to do it again?
Well, not pressure. I mean, the standard's been set from the class before. So, you put the bar at national championship standard. Now it's been risen for everybody, and there's the pressure to live up to that standard to be a national championship program, and not just a one-time thing. To constantly get into the national playoffs is kind of the goal. The turnover, everybody faces it, and it's not something that you worry about.
Sure.
We recruited good players. We knew the guys coming up that were replacing the guys that were leaving, and it's their turn to step up and have the opportunity to make plays for us. And it's exciting to see those younger players develop as well. And the trying to build the continuity in a short amount of time is probably the obstacle that you're facing, and getting them to mesh and understand. Last year we could probably roll the ball out and those kids could execute the offense when they want. They've been doing it for 4 years.
Sure.
So the fight is just trying to get them to start becoming a cohesive unit quicker and getting ready to play. I think that from a talent standpoint, I don't feel that we don't have the right players on the field to compete for national championship again. I mean, I think we're very talented, and just getting them the opportunity to make plays for us.
Last week, of course, tough loss at Carroll. It's been a great rivalry in the Frontier Conference and across the nation. The spotlight was on the NAIA game of the week.
Right.
Give us your feedback on that. How would you say the team graded out against Carroll?
Offensively speaking, I mean, I think it's probably a grade of D. Maybe F if you say a loss is an F automatically. But there were some good things too. The tough thing in years past, opening up against Menlo in years past a lot easier than opening up against Carroll at their place. So we played about as bad as we could play, and we're a drop pass here and an executed play here from winning the football game. So the good side, or what you take good from it, is we didn't play very well, and we still probably should have won the game. Walking out of Carroll last week with a loss, probably stings more, not because you lost to Carroll, probably stings more because you lost a game that you really had in hand, and you probably outplayed them, and we came up short on the scoreboard, and that's a little frustrating. But certain players got to develop too. We made some mistakes with interceptions, but there's some new players playing in those positions too. Cam Smith those couple of interceptions and everything. Oh, Dodge isn't there. Well, everybody forgets Dodge's first start at Willamette, he threw 3 picks and played terrible. That it was it's a learning curve for him. He's got to get live fired to develop as a quarterback and replace that guy. And I think that he learned from his mistakes, and I'm looking forward to him to see play this week.
Finally, before we let you go, what about Eastern Oregon this week? Talk about your great rivalries. This is one, and Eastern has had the upper hand here in Ashland the last couple of tries.
It's kind of a weird rivalry too, because we went at their place, they went at our place.
Yeah.
Before that, we'd kind of dominated the series. It wasn't much of a rivalry in the early stages when we got here, but they've obviously found something, and they do some good things. I mean, offensively, Jace Billingsley does some things that make him tough to defend for our guys, and then they match up a little different than maybe some of the other teams in the Frontier Conference, because number 27, Byron Benson, is by far the best corner in the country, outside of maybe our own guys. I mean, he could start at some D2 FCS schools. He's a definite D1 corner, and we usually don't face that kind of corner who can shut or take something away that like he does, so he makes things tough. And then the other part that makes him unique is they like to blitz. They like to create a little chaos on their side. And we've always moved the ball. We've always executed a lot of offense against them, but at times we've made our mistakes against them. And if we can size them up tomorrow and eliminate the mistakes and do what we do, I mean, I think we're gonna have a lot of offensive success. But what we've got to worry about is taking care of what we do, and not so much their blitz and how they try to create chaos. We just need to execute our side of the ball and not pay attention to what they're doing up front and enjoy the afternoon and be mistake free. So
good to see you as always, Coach.
Thanks, man.
Best of luck against Eastern. Our guest has been SOU offensive coordinator Ken Fasnacht. Stay with us. We'll have more of Raider pregame following these messages.